The U.S. military doesn't want to get involved in any dispute between you and your spouse about how much support you should provide. It is a personal matter between you and your spouse. But there are instances when your commander will intervene to make sure you are providing adequate support to your dependents. Every service has slightly different rules on how much a service member must provide, but they all require that the service member provide a certain level of support to their dependents. The Army rules for family support are found in Army Regulation AR 608-99. The regulation is punitive, which means a soldier can be punished for not obeying the regulation. The first question under AR 608-99 is whether or not there is a court order or agreement in place that governs how much support the soldier must provide. If there is a court order, the soldier must obey the court order. If there is an agreement about how much support to provide, the soldier must comply with that agreement. Even if there is no court order or agreement, the soldier is considered to be providing adequate support if his or her dependents are living in government quarters. If the soldier's dependents already live off post, or move off post after the parties separate, and there is no court order or agreement about support, the soldier must provide the amount of support specified by AR 608-99. The amount the soldier must pay for support under AR 608-99 depends on how many family members he or she has. Under the regulation, a family member includes anyone the soldier has an obligation to support. This would include the soldier's current spouse and all children belonging to the soldier. It may even include the soldier's former spouse if he or she still has a legal obligation to support the former spouse. Each family member of the soldier is allotted a pro rata share. Once you determine how many family members the soldier has, the next step is to determine the minimum amount the Army requires the soldier to provide in support. This amount is linked to the BAH non-locality rater for the soldier's rank. This amount is not the amount of BAH the soldier is actually receiving. In fact, support obligations under AR 608-99 are not dependent on whether the soldier receives BAH at all. In the following examples, we will assume the soldier is a staff sergeant. The BAH non-locality rate for this rank is $1,080. If the E6 has only one family member, his spouse, the soldier pays the entire amount to his spouse. If the E6 has one child from the marriage, he has two family members that he must support, his spouse and child. Each family member is allotted a pro rata share, or $540, per family member. He pays the entire amount to his spouse, but half is assumed to be for the benefit of his children. If the E6 has 4 children from the marriage, the pro rata share changes, but the result is the same. The E6 would have 5 family members, his spouse, and 4 children. Each family member is allotted a pro rata share, or $216. The soldier pays the entire amount to his spouse. $864, the pro rata shares for the children, is assumed to be for the benefit of the children. If the E6 has children from another relationship, the calculation is similar, but the result looks different. In this example, the E6 has 5 family members, his spouse and child from his current marriage, and 3 family members from previous relationships. Each family member is allotted a pro rata share of the $1,080. The soldier must pay his current spouse $432 or 2 shares. Other family members can be a former spouse if support obligation still exists, and will be all other children. There is always a support obligation for children, even if not court-ordered. If there is a court order or agreement relating to child or spousal support, the soldier must comply with the order or agreement. The support required by the court order or agreement may be more than the pro rata share under the AR 608-99 calculation. The soldier does not get credit for any payment to other family members that is over the pro rata share. Even if the soldier is not actually paying support to other family members, those family members are still counted for the pro rata calculation. In this example, the E6 has 5 family members. His current spouse and child from the marriage are living in government quarters. Even though the SM is not paying support to spouse and child, they still count for calculation of pro rata share. The same applies if he isn't actually paying support to the other 3 family members. They still count for the pro rata share calculation. The only circumstance in which you don't use the BAH2 with rate is if you are a couple that is dual military. In that case, the paying spouse pays the BAH differential amount. If you refer to the BAH2 non-locality chart, BAH differential amount is on the far right side. Now that we've explained how to calculate support amounts under AR 608-99, I think we have time for a few questions.
I know I have to pay support under AR 608-99, and I know how much I have to pay, but when do I pay? How often do I pay? How do I pay? What if I already pay for other things?
Once you figure out how much you have to figure out when and how to pay it. SM has not failed to follow AR 608-99 until after the first of the month with no payment for the previous month. Support must be delivered or postmarked by the first of the month following the month to which it pertains. The support obligation starts the day you separate from your spouse. You pay the full amount for any full month of separation. For partial months, you pay the pro rata daily share. To determine the pro rata daily share, take the number of days in the support month, in this case July, and divide by the amount of the support obligation. This will give you the daily share. You then multiply the daily share by the number of days since you separated from your spouse. On the first day of the following month, you pay the pro rata share to your spouse. For the next month, you pay the full amount. An easy example is if your support obligation is $900 and you separated on the 20th of the month. If that month has 30 days, you owe for 10 days of support. The daily share would be $30 per day multiplied by 10 days. Your support obligation for the partial month would be $300. Under AR 608-99, a voluntary allotment is the preferred method of providing financial support to family members. But the SM can pay the required amount in any way that will reliably get the money to the recipient. It is best to use a method that will allow you to prove you made the payment. Keep a receipt or printout to prove you made the payment. In-kind payments are payments made on behalf or for the benefit of your family members instead of directly to the family member. Not every payment you make for the benefit of your family members can be credited towards satisfying your AR 608-99 support obligation. Payments for rent, mortgage, and essential utilities can be credited towards a soldier's support obligation, but only if soldier is legally obligated to make those payments by contract, lease, or agreement. If the soldier has no legal obligation to make the payment, it will be considered a gift and will not reduce the AR 608-99 support obligation, unless the family member agrees in writing that it should be considered an in-kind payment. Essential utilities include gas, electricity, and water, but does not include other utilities such as phone or cable. Are there any other questions?
I know my spouse has to pay support under AR 608-99. I know how much. I know when and how. I even know about in-kind payments. But what if my spouse doesn't provide the support required by AR 608-99?
AR 608-99 is a punitive regulation, which means that soldiers can be punished for failure to obey the regulation. But remember, the Army doesn't want to get involved in your personal business. The Army assumes that soldiers are complying with their support obligations until a complaint is received. A family member can complain directly to the soldier's commander or go through the Inspector General's office. Once the commander receives a complaint for non-support, he or she has 14 days to provide a response. The fill-in-the-blank form on the left of the slide is available to make the complaint process easier. Copies of the form are available upon request. We've got time for one last question. Hannah.
I know what AR 608-99 says and how much I have to pay. I know when and how to pay. I even know about in-kind payments. But I still don't think I should have to pay. Can I get released from the obligation to pay?
The battalion commander cannot relieve you from support that is required by a court order or separation agreement. If a court order or agreement is valid, you must follow it. If you believe the court order or agreement is invalid, the battalion commander may relieve you of the obligation, but only if you can show you are actively seeking to correct whatever problem there is with the court order or agreement. The battalion commander may relieve you from an obligation to support your spouse, but it is not likely to relieve you from any child support obligation. The battalion commander won't relieve you from the support obligation if you are receiving BAH with solely on the basis of providing financial support to your spouse. You must be willing to terminate such BAH with effective upon the date you are released from the support obligation. When comparing the soldier's income to the spouse's income, the battalion commander will only consider the soldier's base pay and will not take into account any allowances such as BAH or off-duty employment. When considering the spouse's income, the battalion commander will include wages and all other sources to include returns on investments and rental income. Abuse by the soldier's spouse must be substantiated by family advocacy, a court judgment, or restraining order, and cannot be the result of mutual affray. The battalion commander can relieve a soldier from the support obligation if the parties have been separated for 18 months, the soldier has made the financial support required by AR 608-99 for the entire 18 months, the spouse has the opportunity to seek a support order from a civilian court, and the soldier is not trying to avoid any civilian court case related to support. If the support family member is in jail, the battalion commander can relieve a soldier from the support obligation. The battalion commander can also relieve a soldier of the support obligation if the child is not in the custody of his or her authorized custodian, but the soldier must show that he or she is taking active steps to getting the child returned to the proper custodian or to be awarded custody. The brigade commander can reduce the support obligation or release the soldier entirely. However, the standard is high. No relief will be granted unless such relief is demanded as a matter of fundamental fairness. This rarely happens. Our office has informational handouts regarding to support obligations under AR 608-99. These handouts are available in the briefing room or in the information kiosk in the reception area. If you need to speak with an attorney concerning AR 608-99 requirements, you can call the Client Services Division at 804-765-1500 to make an appointment.